Hi everybody, this is Valkyrie Force. I'm back once again to be playing Super C for the NES, which is the sequel to the first Contra game. This game came out in 1990. It's a sequel to the arcade game Super Contra, and basically this game doesn't have a Konami code. Well, it does have a code to it, but it's not the classic Konami code that everyone knows. It's actually a whole nother code. It's like right, left, down, up, A, B, select, start, or just start, depending. But yeah, it only gives you 10 lives. So it's not too much, but yeah, we're not going to do that here. So we're just going to dive right in here. This game has one of my favorite soundtracks out of all the NES library games. I think Super C has my favorite soundtrack. And arguably this first level music, which is called Thunder Landing, this is probably one of my favorite songs in the Contra franchise in general. One of them. It would probably make the top 10 if I made a list or something. I don't know. I love how this sounds both in the arcade version and here, 8-bit, classic 8-bit music, just sounds really cool no matter what version it is. But yeah, you have a lot of the same things coming back. This is a new mechanic, I guess, if you could call it that. It's this inclined surface, and the scrolling like that. It's pretty cool. I like it when they add things like that in these games. And you got all these weapons coming back, flamethrower, or actually, well, it was fireball, but yeah, machine gun, spread gun, laser. But the fireball is the only one that's actually different. It's actually more of an exploding fireball this time around, which I think is pretty cool. Oops. I actually want to hold on to the machine gun, but whatever. Just too busy dodging bullets, you can't blame me. So, you got all these grenades and foot soldiers, just kind of basic stuff, but, it's fun. Simple fun. He was always good. So we got the first boss here. This is more of a mid-boss in Super Contra. But here it's an actual boss. All you have to do really is destroy these gun turrets. You can probably make short work of it with spread gun. I guess I'll stick with it this time around. I was gonna stick with the machine gun, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're just goofing around. Always that victory music. Yeah, so you got a lot of these same levels. Super Contra for the arcade, that one only has 5 stages, and pretty much all of them except stage 4 in that game, they've been ported over to the NES game, but yeah, the 4th level of Super Contra is the only one that was unique in the arcade version. It was a unique alien layer level. There's different alien layer levels in this game, so you won't be seeing that one here. But it does have, this one has about 8 stages, so I'd say this one has quite a bit more to offer. It's pretty cool. I always like when they do things like that, when they port games. Oh yeah, and look at this right here. 2 Nintendo Wiis. Kind of looks like that, doesn't it? I think I noticed, it was probably like in a YouTube video or something. I accidentally pick up that laser, but whatever. We'll just hope I don't, get caught in the heat of battle or bullets, whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just goofing around. But yeah, you have like most of these things. This level's layout, it's pretty much mostly the same as the arcade version. Maybe a tiny bit longer, but and I can't run between the bullets here like I did in the arcade version. The bullets are actually much faster. I did a previous recording of this game and I tried to do it, but yeah, I just couldn't make it. See, even there was a little bit tight. But yeah, so there's some unique levels in this game. We'll get to that, I guess, when we get there. But there's like a few different alien layer levels. I do really like that about this game. Most Contra games, usually it's just the one alien layer that's like the last level, but I like that this one actually has a few of them. And that boss that had an electric fence type thing that was right there, that actually harms you in this version. It's the arcade version that actually does nothing to you for some reason. It's just kind of there to distract you, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, so here's another cool song. It's a jungle stage. This one actually made a comeback in Neo Contra for the PS2. It was like I think the fourth level had like a couple different songs. The second song was like a remix of this music, which is pretty cool. It's always cool when they do that in some games, you know. I think some people, once in a while, you know, there's songs that come back in games, you know, or there's remixes or other things. Some people like to accuse that and say, you know, they think designers were being a little lazy. I don't really think that way about it. I think it's really cool when they do stuff like that. It's just, you know, I just wouldn't want them getting too carried off, I guess. So it's not too much of a recycled game, so to speak. But yeah. So this level, there's a lot of foot soldiers jumping out of the trees. You've got those snipers peeking out of the bushes. Gotta look out for that, and probably another one right there, yeah. Oh. See, it was a good thing I ducked right there. And once again, you're invincible when you duck. You've got a lot more of these guys coming out, so... Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this level, but, you know, it's fun. I have a lot of fun with this. There is a mid-boss, though, coming up a little bit here. It's like some kind of robot spider type boss. It's pretty simple, though. There's really not much of any pattern to it, really. All you do is duck when it shoots. It's pretty simple, and you can jump on top of it when it gets too close. So here it's going to fire once. Walk a little bit closer, I'll just go like that. Try and get it. It's always going to move to where you are, so if I go a little bit to the right or left, it's going to move in that direction. So a little bit right, and it's just going to keep doing that. So we'll just... Yeah, okay, I messed that one up a little bit. But yeah, I do like when they have little things like that in these games. You know, it's always good to have mid-bosses. They got quite a few more mid-bosses in later Contra games, especially Contra Hardcore was the one that it was like almost nothing but a boss parade, not boss parade. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do like these kind of interactive environments, you know, you get the earthquake stuff going on. This boss is pretty simple too, actually. Just has these 4 little turrets, these gun turret things that shoot at you. All you really do is just shoot at the core and just kind of like Gradius, shoot the core. I've been kind of thinking about those games lately too, actually. I think I'd like to play some Gradius soon here. Not to get too carried off, but yeah, I was watching a little bit of like Gradius 5 and Gradius Gaiden. That's the one I still really need to play. Even though I actually have it on the PSP, I actually have the Gradius collection. Those are some games I've been meaning to get to. That second Gradius game, though, is so hard. I've just had such a hard time. I think part of what's held me back is I've tried to actually play through the games in order. But maybe I need to ignore that and just play the games. But I actually already know about the third one being ridiculous hard, the arcade version, that is. But yeah, sorry, getting back to Super C. So this was one of the first unique levels. Actually, a vertically scrolling stage, you know what I mean. And you got quite a few things going on here. These barrels, they fall and explode. You've got these guys popping out from these doors here, left and right. And some more gun turrets, of course. The game's chock full of gun turrets. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, yeah, I just trapped myself with that. And I'm back to the rifle. I do like that the rifle in this game, it's a little easier to see the bullets. It seemed like they were so tiny in the first Contra, but here you can actually see them pretty well. I mean, you can't see them in the first Contra, but it's just kind of nice that a little bit easier to see. Okay, it's getting a little bit tight here, but should be some more weapons coming up. There's also an elevator section here, so it's definitely preferable that you have some kind of weapons. I think for those homing projectiles, it's those blue and red bullets, red and blue. And some gun turrets. That's pretty much all there is to this level, really. All we can really take in, I guess, is the ambience and awesome soundtrack. I really enjoy this game. I think you know, Contra and Super C, they're a couple of my favorite games on the NES. If I really had to, I guess I might say this game is a little better than the first Contra. That's just my opinion, of course, but really it's hard to say because they're both great, you know. It's not like anyone's really making me choose, but yeah. I love the sound machine gun makes in this game. Or really, actually, most of the weapons. Probably should have got that. I think there was laser and a spread gun. But yeah, it's definitely preferable to have a spread gun here, because there's about to be a lot of these things coming at me. It's gonna get real hectic in a little bit. We'll just have to see how it goes. I do like how, you know, it was pretty interesting when the first time I got into the arcade Super Contra, you know, hearing the arcade version of these songs, because I'm used to the NES soundtrack. It was pretty cool to hear, you know, these songs in the arcade game. I do remember, actually, I was listening to that soundtrack long before I ever played the game. It was actually on the Contra HQ website. Whoa, that was pretty close. So this boss, you know, just keeps going left and right, shooting. You want to be careful you don't get caught in the crossfire and all that. Pretty simple stuff, really. Once again, it's preferable to have something like spread gun, something to take it out real quick. But it just keeps moving left and right, basically, so just keep moving left and right, basically. I think I've got to stop saying that now. But yeah, that's about it for that. So, yeah, this next level, it's like a cliffside level. It's another unique stage to Super C. There's a few unused tracks in the Super Contra soundtrack for the arcade. This was one of them. I guess they decided to use it in this game. And I think it's called M3. But yeah, it was pretty cool to hear, you know, what it would have sounded like had they used it in the arcade game. This one gets pretty dangerous because there's a lot of these surfaces, you know, incline surface and gun turrets, you know, bullets. You want to jump between just a little bit here and there. So yeah, just a lot more of the same, you know, gun turrets. I think this game is chock full of that, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little short on that. But yeah, a lot of fun though, and I do quite enjoy this track too. The boss of this level is actually another one of those occurrences from Super Contra, where it was the boss of this level was a mid-boss in Super Contra. But here it's an actual boss. And you avoid those boulders by just jumping like that, make the screen scroll up. So that you make the boulders fall and avoid getting hit when you jump. And this is going to keep switching here and there. Those commandos coming out of there, and then you want to duck immediately when you fall here. Gun turret, and then it's going to switch back. More soldiers. And then again, switching to gun turret right here. Sometimes I would get that mixed up and I would duck thinking there's like a gun turret, but then there'd be those guys running behind me. So, but yeah, it always switches like that, so just keep that in mind. So here's the boss I was talking about. This was in stage 4 of Super Contra for the arcade. So once again, actual boss, and now we're going to enter into the Aliens Lair levels, which is pretty cool. I like that this has quite a few of them in this game. I think it's pretty unique to Super C, because pretty much almost all the Contra games, there's only the one level. It's like the last level usually, that's like an alien layer type level. You have to excuse me, I'm getting a little bit parched here, but yeah, and this level's come back in Super Contra. It's mostly the same yet again. You got those mouths. Get a little bit unpredictable at times. It's just kind of RNG. Random number generator, for those of you who aren't familiar, by the way. I probably should have explained that. These heads are back. They're not quite as big. Not quite as intimidating either. This section's always kind of tricky though. But should be... There's a little bit more room to move around. So, not quite as tricky as the arcade game. But yeah. So here's another classic boss coming up here. I think this boss is a little bit easier to take on. Just kind of try and make short work of it if you have a good weapon of some kind. Here comes this boss music again. I like the boss music in this game. There's actually a couple of different versions of this boss theme, and then there's another one. But yeah, here's another classic face. See if I can do this real quick. Oh, really? Once again, I just thought I was far enough, but I guess not. Whatever. So, yeah, about a couple levels left. Not too much left to go. But yeah, we have another returning song here. There's fourth stage music comes back here. I like the visuals here. I don't know what it is with all this, but it just looks cool. So, now this time we have that stage 4 music. And actually stage 4 was a vertical scrolling stage where you were climbing up and up. And now you're going down in this level. So you're actually going... Oh, shoot. That was pretty close right there. But yeah, you're just going deeper and deeper into the alien layer in this game. I do think it's pretty cool. And I do think this music is cool enough to make a comeback so soon in the game. So I don't mind it once again. And there's a section coming up here that's like... It's like a bunch of, like, alien eggs or something like that. Whatever it is. Just kind of shoot them like this and just wipe it out. It's gonna take a while with the machine gun, though. Probably be a lot better with a spread gun or something. Maybe a laser, actually. But yeah. You might want to bake a cake or knit a sweater. Takes a little while. Da-da-da. So these things, actually... Speaking of Gradius earlier, those things actually were something that appeared in Gradius 2 for the arcade. So I think this is kind of a reference to that, because it has the exact same appearance in that game. And those little scorpions or spiders or whatever they are also look exactly the same. Except, of course, this is, you know, it's an 8-bit, so it's got all that much going on. Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky if you don't have a spread gun or some weapon. And here's another familiar face. This would be the third stage boss of Super Contra. But here it's the stage 7 boss, and it looks a bit more like a skull. I do kind of, I don't know, I don't mind how it looks here, but I did like how it looked in the arcade game. It looked a bit more intimidating, I guess. And once again, got some of these boss patterns, shoot some of those things. I think these are a little bit easier to shoot this time around, so it's not too bad. It's pretty late here, it's like midnight. I'm a tiny bit tired, but I don't know why. Usually I stay up pretty late, but I've just been getting real tired lately for some reason. But I can at least finish this up, of course. I don't know, there's just not much else to say about this. This last level, though, coming up, I do really love how, last level, how they handled that, you know. Boy, this is taking a while. Took a little longer than I remember, but anyway. Yeah, last level music, pretty cool. It's another song that came back. It was actually used in the stage 6 that was in this game, the overhead level. That would actually be the last level of Super Contra for the arcade, and it would actually use this music, but it used a different song. And this one actually uses that music track. Excuse me. But yeah, you've got some tight jumps like that, and some more enemies jumping here and there. I don't mind just trying to run through this, really. Really not a whole lot else to it, but I do like that there's like the collapsing ceiling coming up here, which is pretty cool. And those power-ups, I think it was like a fireball and something else. I think it was that explosion weapon that wipes out all the enemies. I don't know, I can't remember for sure. You have these things homing in on you, so I just keep running here usually. Yeah, one day I think it'd be really cool. If ever there was another Contra game, it'd be really nice to hear, like... Oh. Well, anyway, I think it'd be really nice to hear, like, something from this game, because it seems like pretty often we hear, like, a cover or a remix. Oh, that's pretty bad. You hear a lot of that for the first Contra. Oh, man, it's getting real tight here, man. Bringing me down, man. Yeah, down. Yet again. Man, I'm just not playing very well right now. All those lives I accumulated are very quickly disappearing. Oh, man. I'm getting button mashing fatigue here, man. I don't know what else to say. But I do definitely feel like lying down. So anyway, here's final boss coming up right here. This is where, familiar boss, I think in the Japanese, they call it Shadow Beast Kimco or something like that. This would become another familiar face throughout the Contra games, man-faced fighter or whatever. Or it looks a bit more like a woman in this game though. So I've got the standard rifle, so I gotta grab it and tap B, of course. Just gotta press B to win, man. And there you have it, Super C. Look a little more distinguished standing on the ground, so... I don't know why, but I feel a little bit exhausted. I've had a bit of a long day here. But that's about it, Super C. I probably could have done that a lot better. Who knows, maybe I will play this again. But yeah, that was pretty much the game right there. I do like that ending music too. Yeah, no comment. But yeah, this was another fun game I used to play with my sister. We did the 10 life code then. 30 life codes, Contra, 10 life codes, Super C. Umichan team, or however you say that. Yep, props to the old Konami. Doing us good. Anyway, well, I hope you all enjoyed that, and that was Super C. So, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. So, until next time. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.